On the 6th of January 2021, unprecedented scenes unfolded at the heart of America's democratic system on Capitol Hill in Washington, D.C. Protesters stormed the corridors of the 200-year-old building as lawmakers hid and police were overrun. 5 people died, and President Donald Trump, accused of inciting the violence, was impeached for a second time and suspended from social media. So a year later, what's changed?
There are a lot of different opinions among Americans about January 6th.
Polarization has actually worsened in America. The threat of far-right extremism has become even more pronounced.
And where has this left Donald Trump and Trumpism?
We absolutely could see a Trump 2024 comeback.
The January the 6th riots followed a rally in front of the White House where then President Trump urged his supporters to march towards the Capitol complex.
We will never give up, we will never concede.
United in their mission to, as they put it, stop the steal, after Joe Biden was declared the winner of the 2020 election.
I believe Donald Trump, I believe this election was stolen.
A year later, and contrary to the facts, Donald Trump's position is unchanged.
In our view, in my view, the big lie is that Joe Biden got 81 million votes, the most in history, and yet now he's at 22% of people want him to run again.
Former President Trump is still absolutely of the belief that he won the election in 2020.
Yeah, absolutely. And you look at different states.
Even though 64 out of 65 challenges in courts around this nation, when there have been recounts and recounts, and they've checked very clearly, and those have been proven to be very fair elections or fair counts.
No matter how many times you count the same stuffed ballot box, it's still going to be a stuffed ballot box. Recounts are very different than audits. And what we saw...
But there have been audits as well.
A House of Representatives committee is undertaking a massive inquiry into the Capitol riots.
I could feel myself losing oxygen and recall thinking to myself, this is how I'm going to die.
350 witnesses have been interviewed, 52 subpoenas sent, and over 35,000 pages of records received.
The committee in some ways has a bit of a limited mandate in terms of what they can do, but there's 2 main pathways. One, which is slightly more doubtful, is to make what would be called a criminal referral. And this would be essentially referring someone, perhaps even former President Trump himself, to the Department of Justice for a criminal proceeding. And that would be if they felt that there was enough evidence to show that Trump intentionally obstructed the official proceeding of the election count. That's one move, but it's one that would be very controversial. I think what we're more likely to see is that the committee will suggest changes to some of the legislation that currently defines how we count our elections. So changes to what's called our Electoral Count Act to make it a bit more rigorous and try and prevent some of the loopholes that Trump and some of his associates tried to exploit.
The inquiry has revealed that some of those close to Mr. Trump, including Fox News presenter Sean Hannity, as well as Mr. Trump's own son, Don Jr., urged him to intervene.
Take that house! Take it now!
As all this was unfolding, records show that Don Jr. wrote a text message to White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows saying that this has gone too far. Over the past year, Donald Trump has remained in constant campaign mode.
My fellow Americans, our movement is far from over. In fact, our fight has only just begun.
He's continued to claim against all facts, but to audiences who believe him, that the election was stolen. So what next for the former president?
We absolutely could see a Trump 2024 comeback. And if you look at the full chessboard at the moment, I think it's even a likely scenario. It's hard to imagine any scenario in which if Trump wants the Republican nomination, he won't get it. So everything we see from Trump also suggests that he's gearing up for a return. He's issuing press releases, he's holding rallies, he's trying to keep himself generally in the news.
Joe Biden promised to unite a divided America, but 1 year on from what's now simply known as January the 6th, America's political landscape is as polarized as ever. In this year of the crucial midterm elections, American politics is as exciting as it is alarming.